Okay, we'll start with new chapter. How many remain? 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. I think only this one is quite small. Then again, there will be a little bit bigger chapters like GTI, Advanced Tax, TDS, TCS. Okay, some of them are quite theoretical. This is still very much practical. Set off and carry forward of losses. Your earlier chapter had the name of what? Clubbing of income as well as losses. So you can mix or merge the income or losses, but this mainly is about only losses. What do you mean by set of? Set of what? HP. Yes. ऐसे set of how?
एक हाउस प्रॉपर्टी से अगर प्रॉफिट हो रहा है उसमें लॉस हो रहा है तो वो जिसमें प्रॉफिट हो रहा है उसमें लॉस भी लगता है.
Okay, so deduct basically profit. With what amount? Whatever may be the amount of losses. Correct. So very simply said, losses adjusted against what? Correct. Income, or you can say profits. Fine. Find here. Yes, simple, no? Have you done something in PGBP like that? Something like your unabsorbed depreciation. There was no income to adjust the depreciation, so that becomes your unadjusted or unabsorbed depreciation. So it goes on what? Carry forward. Yes or no? So now whatever loss is there, yes, and still the profits or income are insufficient to adjust that loss, the balance loss will be or can be carried forward loss. So there are the only two important things. This adjustment, where all it can happen. Okay, income wise you have to understand which income can be or which loss can be adjusted against which income. So two important things you have to understand is intra and inter. What did I say?
Intra and inter.
Correct. Intra and inter. Have you heard this word before? Where? In general. Exactly. Inter school and maybe intra school. Correct. Intra simply means within, and inter doesn't mean without, it means outside. Yes or no? So you may have an inter school or interstate or whatever, okay, competition or whatever it might be. If you are within the same state, within themselves, that is intra. Okay, so just like your head of incomes, heads of income, pay attention. In the same head of income, from a particular activity you may have a profit and you may also have a loss. In PGBP, did you have something special or separate? Yes, 3580 specified business loss can be adjusted up against only specified business income. Yes or no? Carry forward for how many years? Carry forward for how many years? Was it there? Indefinitely. So these conditions are there. So in PGBP intra, pay attention. What did I say? PGBP intra was allowed. But again, you can say with certain conditions that specified and non-specified you cannot mix. Can we set off loss of non-specified business from specified business? Yes, you can set off non-specified business loss from specified business profit, but you cannot set off specified business loss from non-specified business profit. So these things you have to understand. So here some conditions are given about intra. Tell me very simply, a person may have 2-3 businesses, 2-3 separate businesses. All of them are, let us say, non-specified. Can he adjust the losses between all those 3 businesses non-specified? Yes. So that is which kind of adjustment? That is intra-head adjustment or set-off. Understood? Okay. Now, let us say there is a PGBP non-specified. Now, whenever we will say PGBP loss, we will assume non-specified loss, non-specified business loss. And same assessee has an HP profit. Are you following till here? Yes? Now, let us say if he has only one business, non-specified business, and then there is a loss, but he has an HP profit, the question obviously is that now can he adjust the business loss from house property profit? Which kind of adjustment is this now? Inter-head. As soon as now you are leaving the head of income, it becomes inter-head adjustment. Are you following or no? At times we had done that in the chapter of HP also. In the chapter of house property we had done intra-head adjustment. There were 2-3 properties, some property were making loss, another property was making profit. Then we adjusted them. The effect was what? There was an intra-head set off of losses. Are you following or no? Then we have capital gain. Again there will have short term and long term. Mainly this chapter will be about losses. Okay. So short term capital loss or long term capital loss. Again, the person again may have long term capital gain or short term capital gain. Now there can be many combinations or no? First one did not reach there. Something like this. No, what happened? Something is missing over here. Okay, no? Okay. So again you have to see which loss can be set off against which income. And when again the capital gains, overall losses have been adjusted but still loss remains from capital gain, you may have to hunt for now some other head of income. Remember or no? Similarly, you may have IOS profit or IOS loss, yes or no? So you will always try to again adjust in the same head of income. And then lastly you may have salary profits, yes or no? And salary losses, very nice. Salary is never into loss. Never ever. That is the most basic error you can do. Yes or no? The salary doesn't have losses. The only head of income does not have losses. So one work is reduced. Out of 5 head of income, you only are concerned about 4 heads of income's losses. Understood? So that will be the thing we have to understand. Fine? Okay. So, will salary have your loss, everyone? Will salary have loss? No. So next head of income, will house property can have loss? So check what are the rules for set off of losses from house property. Section 71B. Okay. Loss from house property. Such loss can be adjusted against income. Set off means what? Adjusted against income from any other head of income, even from salary. Most important. Salary accepts invitation of only HP loss. Salary is exclusive with house property. Okay. The balance loss. Now another. Okay. If the current year's loss is still more than the income, then you can carry it forward. The balance loss shall be carried forward for 8 years. 8 even is 8 years. Filing of returns within due date is not mandatory or not required to carry forward the loss. In some of the other sections, we will again see that submission of return of losses. Return means return of income. Okay, that also you will see in some time. In subsequent years. Now, what do you mean by subsequent year? Next year. Next year relation in CD? Succeeding year. Okay. In that case, now whenever you are carrying forward the losses, the next year becomes the subsequent year. Okay. For example, if there is a HP loss still remaining in PY 18-19, or there is no other income, or all the rest of the incomes were still less than the loss. So there is still loss will be carried forward or not?
Yes.
Okay, pay attention. 18-19 we did 19-20. Every year there may be income or loss, but current year income or current year loss, that you have to now differentiate. Okay. Now HP loss can be carried forward to 19-20. Yes or no? The carried forward loss, does it belong to 19-20? It belongs to 18-19. But there can be a loss in 19-20 also, which relates to only 19-20. So that becomes your current year loss. Yes or no? Fine. Now, for example, let me give you some example. Little bit may be clear. Now let us say in 1920 there is a house property profit. Is it okay? We are in the same example as such. Fine till here. Let me give some figures. This HP loss, which is to be carried forward in the next year, is 150 for the sake of example, and HP profit is rupees 100. Are you following till here? This HP profit is of current year. Now tell me what will happen in 1920. Can we set off or not? We can set off 100. So HP loss now remains is how much? Still balance. In 1920, let me give you one more example. There is also a salary income of rupees 70. Okay? Are you following or not? Let me tell you here one thing. We always obviously give first preference to the same head of income. So yes, what you did was absolutely correct. You set off that 150 rupees from 100 rupees income in the 1920, but there is still HP loss remaining of rupees 50. Can we adjust this HP loss with salary income? No, we cannot, because now we are in the subsequent or succeeding year. What you have to understand here importantly is this 50 still belongs from where? This 50 this belongs to 1890. Yes, is it current year? You can say current year loss? No. Okay. Don't write down this income. Just understand. I mean, don't write down the example. Just understand right now. Okay. Because actually or practically, this current year HP profit should have been first set off with current year salary income. You always do all the current years only. Okay. Bachega, you can do the earlier years, correct. But here, what is important is this HP loss now cannot be set up against salary income of 1920. Okay. So in subsequent years, it shall be set off only against HP income only. Okay. It will not touch some other head of income. So over here, the first sentence which you saw, this belongs to who? Current. Current year income against current year losses. Okay. Whose loss are we discussing? HP loss. Yes. Next one. Assessee shall not be entitled to set off such loss exceeding rupees 2 lakhs against income under other head of income in the year of loss. Okay. Now there is again a ceiling limit of set off. Ceiling limit of set off. Some very practical or a simple thing which you have to understand is what is the effect of set off? Income will reduce. Correct. So tax liability will very good because of set off. Yes or no? That's why they have put a ceiling limit to set off. Yes? Are you following or no? So what are they saying? How much set off you can do max? Yes, maximum rupees 2 lakhs. Is year given over there? It is benefiting from which year? Just 2 years back only. Before this, again there was allowed. We used to take 5 lakhs, 8 lakhs, 10 lakhs rupees also as set off. And one important thing is it could be set off. HP loss could be set off from salary income also. Are you following or not? And one of the worst problems with salary income is salary as such is a pure profit. Whatever you earn, it gets taxed, and there is a very little scope for tax planning. I don't remember we discussed this in salary chapter or not. Tax planning depends on your employment offer. Who does this tax planning, or who gives you the bifurcation of your salary? The employer gives you. Actually, employer decides what is the basic, HRA, DA, this allowance, that allowance, and all of that. So employer decides. Employee who earns the income doesn't have as such main role in any tax planning income of salary. I follow till here. So it becomes salary is actually a pure profit. Only some benefit over here is given is of standard deduction. That also has come just 2 years back, and that is also only how much? It was just earlier 40,000, and now it is just 50,000. That also at the cost of, or you can say at the sacrifice of, medical allowance and the transport allowance. So as such, there is no major benefit to salary income. Are you following? It gets purely taxed. Okay, till here. So HP before this 2 years back, we could set off, or we could reduce also, no, this salary income up to 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 8 lakhs also, if there was an HP loss. Now another thing, if you remember, there is all interlinked now. HP loss can be unlimited. Can you analyze something? Without any limit, there can be an HP loss in certain cases. SOP. SOP, okay. HP only 2 types, mainly, or 3 types, but still SOP or correct. Okay. SOP property, tell me, loss can be how much? Maximum 30,000, or is right? Actually, it is 2 lakhs. If all those conditions are satisfied, it will be satisfied in actual real life cases. Let out or deemed let out?
Unlimited.
It can be any amount without ceiling limit. Why? What limit? This 2 lakhs coming is, this figure is coming from interest, isn't it? When you take SOP, all the figures are nil, and only the 24B becomes ceiling. I mean your interest on that borrowed capital. Remember, over there for SOP they have given limit of 2 lakhs. But if a property becomes let out, actually let out, or deemed let out, 24B is unlimited. And when the interest amount is very, very high, which interest amount we are talking about? 24B, interest on borrowed capital. That is very, very high compared to your income, or you can see even deemed income. Your losses are unlimited. It can be loss, can be a 4 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, for to be said as such, discussed, isn't it? So HP loss, for example, again I am saying HP loss again, let us say is 10 lakhs rupees. Possible? Possible. And there is a salary income of rupees 15 lakhs. Are you following or no? We could set off this HP loss from salary income. In this case, salary income will be taxable is only rupees 5 lakhs. Now what have they done? Even if there is an HP loss, correct, of 10 lakhs, you can set off only maximum now rupees 2 lakhs. They have put a ceiling limit. Now obviously you understand, if I say 5 lakhs in the earlier case, only 5 lakhs was taxable. That is also considered in the slab rates. No, effectively tax access becomes only nil. First 2.5 lakhs, exit. This all adjustments happened before GTI After GTR, what remains? Only chapter 60 deduction. These are all internal calculations. Just like we did all this clubbing, all of that. Are you following or no? Yes? So now, what will happen is only 2 lakhs we could reduce. Tax becomes 13 lakhs. We will still be paying tax at the slab rate of 30%. Are you following? So they have given some restriction on the set-off. Understood a little bit? Okay, come back. So maximum is how much? 2 lakhs in the year of loss. Okay. Next one. Speculative we have to do. Check iOS, simple actually. Loss under the head income from other sources. There may be loss from letting out of property, too much maintenance compared to your letting out of property, or you have taken some loan that you are repaying, or expenditure incurred is more than the income whatever is earned. Such loss can be set off against income from any head of income, even from salary. But iOS losses are very rare losses, that doesn't usually happen, but still iOS losses are allowed to be set off against salary income also. The balance loss cannot be carried forward, it shall lapse. Lapse means gone, useless, expired. Okay. Last one, in the iOS category only, check. Gambling or card game losses is a dead loss. That means such loss which is useless loss. It will neither be carried forward, it will neither be set off. Even if it is loss. Now you tell me, gambling or card game income was taxed in which head of income? iOS. So gambling or card game loss, again for the sake of example, is iOS loss. What did will you change head of income? No, there are only 5 heads of income. Those 5 heads of incomes will have either income or losses. There can be intra-adjustment or inter-adjustment. Simple. So just like card or gambling income was iOS income, card or gambling loss will be iOS loss. The general rule of iOS was you could set off against all head of income including salary. Carry forward of any iOS loss as it is not allowed. But in gambling, there is a special restriction. Okay, check. Such loss cannot be carried forward or neither can be set off. Okay. Also, income from gambling or betting or card games cannot be utilized to set off any other losses. Also, pay attention. I am writing only one word here: gambling income and gambling loss. Is it okay to you? Everyone? Let us first focus on gambling loss. This is your iOS loss, specifically from card or gambling loss. Can we set off this loss from any other income?
No.
No, isn't it? This is a dead loss. Can we carry it forward?
No.
That means whatever is the loss, the assessee has to bear it. Simple. There is nothing to be done in income tax about this loss, gambling or card games, dead loss. Are you following? It is completely to be borne by the assessee. There is, when I say it cannot be carried forward or set off, that means he gets no advantage out of that loss. He gets no advantage out of that loss for income tax purpose. Simple or no? Similarly, now pay attention. Gambling income or card game income, how it is taxed? What is the tax rate?
30%.
At the rate of 30%, 115 BBE. Yes? Okay. Now pay attention. Let us say there is an HP loss to an assessee who also had and gambling income. Clear? Are you following the case? Okay. What do you read in HP loss? Where it can be set off? Any head of income including salary income. Gambling income is an iOS income. Yes or no? Okay. So here some, again there is something about ethics here they are putting it. The HP loss, the HP loss cannot be set off against gambling income. It means that gambling income will not give benefit to any other loss. It is to be purely taxed at 30%. Simple. Are you following on? It is to be purely taxed at 30%. Understood? If it was by mistake we set off HP loss with gambling income, it means what? You are reducing the gambling income. And then on the reduced income you tax at 30%, that is not allowed. Understood here everyone? Yes? So it is known as what? Purely dead loss. Clear? Fine. Come to CG, capital gains. Section 74. Again we are focusing only on losses. So there will be either short-term capital loss or long-term capital loss. First focus on inter and then we'll go to intra. It is inter source means intra head. Over here if you want you can write down. Inter source means what? Intra head. Short-term capital loss. The short-term capital loss can be adjusted against short-term capital gain as well as long-term capital gain. Just focus on the short-term capital loss right now. So it can be adjusted against short-term capital gain as well as long-term capital gains. Inter-head adjustment not allowed at all. Why? That is the law. Fine. Agree. What do you think is the reason for the same? Even for that matter, LTCG, LTCL loss is not allowed to go to any other head of income. Rate of tax means what? All your heads of income actually are slab rates. Only except special incomes. That gambling is already covered. Okay. That is loss, not income. If you remember general rule of chapter 1, revenue income always taxed. Leave it. I'll only answer. Always taxed unless there are put under some exceptions or exemptions. Capital income, tell me, never taxed. Correct or wrong? Unless again specifically told to do so, and that for that again we directly refer the chapter of capital gain. Yes or no? Now there is a capital loss, and then if at all you go to any other head of income, you are touching basically revenue income. Yes or no? Now revenue income you are reducing using capital loss. So that is will not be, they cannot be set off because the nature itself is completely different. This is capital and this is revenue. So you cannot set off capital losses with revenue income. Are you following? So whatever adjustment will happen, that will happen only in their head of income. It cannot come outside. Are you following or no? HP loss can go to anyone. IOS loss can go to anyone. Salary loss, there is no concept. Yes or no? Capital loss cannot go to anyone else in the same house itself. Understood or no? In the same head of income. Fine? Okay. Understood or no? Carry forward of loss. Short term, 8 years. Filing of ROI within due date is required. Did we see exactly something opposite now? For HP loss to be carried forward, return may not be filed in time, that is okay. But to carry forward the capital loss, you have to file the return in time. Understood? Set off in the subsequent years. What concept is this? Loss of 1 year, taken it forward, carry forward to the next year, and then in next year you have to again check its eligibility to be set off against which income. So it is same again short term as well as long term gain. So same rule applicable for current year as well as subsequent year. Is it okay? Long term is like big brother, and short term is like small brother. Small brother can go crying to the big brother. Big brother will not go crying to the small brother. Check. So long term capital loss can be adjusted only against long term capital gains. Okay. You may write down this in the textbook or anywhere you have space. STCL can go to STCG or LTCG, but LTCL can go to only LTCG. Done? Setoff allowed for to be carried forward for how many years? 8 years. Okay. Done? No? Next one. Long-term capital loss on sale of such shares or units. Which shares or units we are talking about? Which were taxed under 112A. Listed one, the one STD is paid or time of purchase sale for the sake of shares and time of transfer in case of units. Equity oriented mutual funds or business trust funds units can be set off and carried forward for set off against long-term capital gains by virtue or because of section 73 and section 74. Now, if you remember 112A, it is tax on which income, which gain, long term or short term. So it is long term, you can say income 112A. So for the same nature of transaction, if there is a long term loss, it can be set off and carried forward from your long term gain. Okay, important. Question 3. Check for a minute. क्लबिंग हो गया ना मैं भी राइटिंग हो गया कैरी फॉरवर्ड है सेट ऑफ डन Question 3, no? Come, let's solve that. Mr. A submit the following particulars pertaining to the current year. Okay, income from salary, loss from SOP, business loss, and bank interest FD received. So let us just quickly check business loss also. There is a business loss, no? How is check on the first page, section 72. Normal or other business loss. Okay. Inter-source adjustment. Inter-source means intra-head. Source means the same head of income. Okay. It can be set up against any business income or even speculative. We have just now discussed it. Normal business loss or non-speculative business loss can be set up against your speculative income. But speculative loss cannot be set up against normal business income. Yes? Okay. So normal business loss set up against any business income. Fine. Again, when it goes to other head of income except salary. So business losses cannot be set up against salary income. So tell me from salary's point of view now. Salary profit can adjust who what? Is there a salary loss concept? There is no salary loss concept. Can it adjust HP loss? Yes. Can it adjust PGPP loss? No. Can it adjust CG loss? No, not allowed. Can it adjust iOS loss? Allowed. So salary income says yes only to HP loss and iOS loss. Yes? Okay. Business loss can be carried forward for again 8 years, and at many places it is either 4 years, 8 years, not allowed, or indefinitely. There are only 4 situations. Which one we saw carry forward not allowed at all? Which one? iOS loss. iOS loss, any income, any iOS loss cannot be carried forward at all. Yes. Then there were some losses which can be carried forward indefinitely. That was your actually unabsorbed depreciation, or some other losses also we will see. Then 8 years we are seeing everywhere. HP, CG also now business. Okay. Then ROA to be filed? Yes, should be filed within due date. Set off in the again subsequent years, that means later years, against any business income. So same you can say adjustment for current year as well as subsequent year. So where it was not same, the current year and subsequent year were not same in HP. In the subsequent year for HP loss can be set off only against HP income. And continuity of business to set off loss in subsequent year. We are talking of the business. Let us say an assessee has 3 normal businesses and there is a loss from business number 1. It can be carried forward for 8 years. Yes or no? And in one of the years, 3rd year or 4th year, whatever you are still carrying it forward, business number 1 is now over or it is discontinued. But that loss can still be adjusted against other businesses of the same assessee. Are you following or no? The business need not be continued for it to be set off against other businesses of the same assessee. Got it? So business continuity need not, it is not required. So loss of discontinued business can still be set off. That is not an problem. Okay? So come back. We will always make a column right now of loss and income. This table you have to make for the best solution which you will solve. Without this table it is very, very confusing. Just list down the losses now. It is just heads of income, correct? The actual nature does not matter whether it was SOP or letter or deemed letter or whatever. We don't care. So it is just salary loss, not salary, sorry, HP loss and PGBP, normal business loss. You obviously need not list down all the heads of income. Okay, it is just whatever are the losses and then whatever are the incomes. What are the incomes? Salary? Yes or no? Salary income and yes. iOS? Income from other sources. You only have to write down allowed, not allowed, allowed, not allowed. You just fill in the blanks. So be focused now. You should know one head's loss provisions. Focus that way. Okay. So right now just focus on HP loss. HP loss. Is it allowed to be set off from salary income? Yes or no?
Yes.
Allowed. Very good. HP loss can be set off against iOS income.
Yes.
Allowed. Normal business loss allowed to be set off from salary income? No, not allowed. And normal business loss can be set off against iOS income? Allowed. It is allowed to be set off against any head of income except salary. So it is allowed. Yes or no? What is asked? Taxable income. So over here, just now we will just write down whatever adjustments you want to make. Finally, what is asked? Taxable income. That means computation of taxable income. So our regular format will still remain the same. So write down computation of for PY 1920 AY 2021. Done? Particulars. Rupees. Fine. What should be right first? The heads of income. Simple. Income from salary. Okay, in the entire chapter you assume everything is computed figures. Okay, the final figure from the head of income. Is it okay? Now don't write salary and then again the standard deduction. That we are not doing it. It is assumed that everything is the final figure of the head of income. How much is the salary income? 4 lakhs. Okay, what should we write? Less. Loss from house property. How much is the loss? 70,000. Correct? Now, two questions. Whether the HP loss is now completely set off? Yes. And whether the salary income now can it consider any other loss?
No.
So directly take the figure now in outer corner. 3,30,000. Now whatever figure you write in the last column means what it is taxable. Correct? Second, what should we write? Income. The entire format will first obviously have income. You can adjust loss only against income. If there is no income, we cannot do anything. Okay? So income from iOS, no? Income from other sources. How much? 80,000. Less what? Normal business loss. One lakh.
Sorry.
It is just like the case of exemptions. Exemption cannot be more than income, so the loss to be set off cannot be more than the income. Yes? So iOS income taxable is nil. So we arrive at what? Taxable income, or you can say GTI, whatever. Right now we don't have any other details. Therefore, taxable income. How much? 3,30,000. Note. What should write as note? Normal business loss. of rupees 20,000, that is the balance, no, will be carried forward. Will be carried forward for how many years?
8 years.
It can be carried forward for 8 years. Who's from the PGBP? First current always. Others, check now. Speculative loss. Now, what do you mean by the word speculative? Huh? Rumor? Trading? Predict. Okay, predict, yes. Estimate. To speculate means to predict. Future, something, correct. Which is not certain. Yes? Forecast. Okay. Pay attention. Which section do you see here? Which head of income? PGBP. So this will happen only in your business. Not your right. It is a trading loss kind of, okay, because of speculation. Because of speculation. Very important. Now pay attention. Speculative transaction in which a contract for purchase or sale of any commodity, stocks and shares is periodically or ultimately settled otherwise than by the actual delivery or transfer of the commodity or scrips. Now there is a concept of derivatives contract. Did you have this in the concept of contract act? Speculative. Speculative agreement. था ना? था ना? नहीं था? Mr. A, something is there now. It is valid or not? Pay attention. Let me then explain. Then maybe you will recollect it is there or not. Mr. A enters into contract with Mr. B. Okay. Mr. A, let us say, is a seller of some commodity, goods, whatever. Mr. A wants to buy, so he is a buyer, but not immediately. In future, and he predicts, or he understands there is some bad news. Future goods, something like that. Correct. He is taking future goods, but at future price, but it is a predetermined price. Predetermined price. Let us say, sorry, future goods, but predetermined price.
Depends on the goods
whatever. Listen, pay attention. Shh. Mr. A is buying some commodity from Mr. B. Okay. Let us say the regular market rate is rupees 100. Okay, regular market rate. And then he has some news. You understand? It can be anything now. There can be many examples to be made out of this. There is some war going to happen. There is some that oil countries have understood that we will increase the price. Whatever it is. Okay. But Mr. A says that after 6 months I am going to buy from you at rupees 100. I don't care whatever is the market rate. I do not care whatever is the market rate. Are you following or not? After 6 months, now there can be two conditions. There can be a profit to him or there can be a loss to him. Yes or no? Now, if at all, why is he actually entering into this 100 rupees contract then? Yes, he is of the nature of thinking that it will increase. He is kind of sure. Are you following? If it actually goes to 120, he is at secure or he has profit. But if it actually goes to 80, then he is at loss. Are you following or no? Now, because of the speculation, same thing happens. Have we discussed this intraday transactions? Maybe law we have discussed. Intraday? No. Again, what do you mean by intra? Within. So within the same day there are transactions of क्या बात है? Buying and selling. So when you buy and sell within the same day, what happens is you are not taking the delivery of that particular goods or commodity. So same thing happens with the shares only. Okay. So for example, there can be one way of this intraday transactions. Okay, in the morning you buy at a lower price and in the afternoon you sell it at the higher price, because this is a very short margin or a very short period of time. Do you remember this? I discussed with trader and investors. We keep on discussing this. Investors look at a horizon of 1 year, 5 year, 10 year. Traders look at very small frequencies or short term. This can be also a short term. This is how actually they play and earn money. This is one situation. Okay. Or another thing, he can sell first and then buy later. Okay, he sold at 120 in the morning without, he doesn't even have the quantity with it, and later on when he has to, the prices are reduced, he has to settle the account and then he has to buy that particular quantity or a particular amount at whatever is the lower price, whatever he can buy. This will result in profit or not? That is allowed. That is what is the feature of intraday, because here we are discussing no delivery. The market is open from 9 to 3:30. At the end of the day, it is either purchase or either sell. But during the day, it is both. Everything is allowed. I mean, you can buy and sell n number of transactions without delivery. Pay attention. At 3:30 p.m. when the market closes, okay? After this, there is a delivery of shares in which account? During the time, during the entire day, whatever transaction you do, that is not reflected in the demat account. Okay. Let us say if at all you are a regular individual investor, you are not doing this intraday. In the morning, you sold the shares. You did nothing. You sold the shares. Is it okay or no? Someone may have purchased. After the market time, now this will shift from your demat account to the buyer's demat account. Is it a delivery from him? For him? Yes. If it reflects in the demat account, it is a delivery. Keep that in mind. If it reflects in the demat account, when will it reflect in the demat account? After the market is over. All these settlements actually happen after the market is closed. It is not real time, you can say, reflected in your demat account. Understood here? Now, pay attention, in both these cases, what happened? Profit is there or not? This is purely speculative profit. This is purely a speculative profit. I cannot help it now. Now, if it is exactly the opposite case, so are we considering profits or losses for this chapter? Profits or losses? Loss. But if it happens, unfortunately, whatever he predicted was wrong. Speculation went into toss. He sold at 120, no, opposite, no. And let us say bought at 150, doesn't matter. He sold at 120, buying price should be higher than selling price. Is it clear, right or wrong? Same thing can happen over here. Okay. So selling price is higher than the buying price. Or he bought, let us say at 150, thinking that price will increase. There was a very bad news in the market, something which he had not predicted. Trump Baba declared something on the Twitter, market crashed. He had to sell it at 120. This is actually opposite of the speculations what you are doing. In both these cases, what will happen is losses. Whatever you are predicting is something exactly opposite of that. Any person tries to gain profit or loss? Profit. So that is from a particular planning. If that planning is reversed, he is entering into losses. Understood or not earlier? So when will speculative loss will happen? Tell me. There is no delivery. When there is why there is no delivery? Because you're buying and selling in the same date. That is basically your intraday transactions. Now pay attention. What is the today's date? Whatever. Third. Today is Sunday actually. Will not work. But let us say if you bought today, buy it on a particular date. Okay. It is sitting in a demand account on this day. Yes. You sold it, or there is a sale on the next day. Is it intraday? This is not intraday. Are you following on? You sold it on as soon as there is delivery. It is not an speculative transaction. Now again, pay attention. If you understand many things around, if you keep for n number of time, maybe more than 12 months, it becomes long term. It is sitting in your demand account if it is listed share for at least 12 months or more than 12 months, it becomes long term. If you are sitting in a demand account only for 1 day or 365 days, it is short term. Are you following or no? Or if it is only for 1 day, it is again short term. Are you following till here? Yes? Okay. So speculative can be losses. There are examples of derivatives or hedging contracts also. The following they have given that they are exceptions. See, hedging contracts and derivatives contracts, which you will learn too much into financial management, FM chapter, FM your subject, as well as CA final, that you will again understand in the cases of hedging and derivatives. Hedging I can just give you a little bit brief. Hedging means literally to create an hedge. Hedge means your boundary, something like a limit or garden you have that of that fence, correct? But that fence also we have that very typical word, mehendi. Mehendi ka fence like a mehendi. That small plants you have, they're creating a bushes rather. You're creating a kind of a fence that is just a kind of a protection over there. A kind of a cushion also you can say to protect your losses. If at all you are having losses, but to limit your losses or to limit or to keep yourself secure from any further losses, those contracts are hedging contracts. Now for again example over here, either gap now. This person buying and selling. If it was the price increased to 120, but he has now predetermined the price at or agreed to purchase it at 100. Yes or no? Yes. Now here he is protecting his losses. He may have again some condition put over here. Depends. He may again put some condition. This all gets little bit more critical later on. That if tomorrow price increase to 120, I will buy at 100. Provided if the price drops to 80, I will buy at 80 also. Or I should have a right to buy at 80 also. The C contract after all is custom made or tailor made. Do you remember? Whatever things you can put, you want to put in contract, it can be put. Are you following or no? Here obviously there is more risk to Mr. B. So he is going to charge some premium out of it or whatever, but again might be agreed between Mr. A and Mr. B. So depends on varieties of contracts and you can create those contracts. Are you following till here? Yes? Okay. So what is a speculative loss? This is again on any commodity where you are not taking delivery. Commodity can be literally any commodity or even your securities or shares also. Yes? Check. Come back to your first page. Speculative loss. Speculative loss. Inter-source adjustment, okay? Again, which section or which head of income can you tell me? PGPP. The head of income is PGPP. It can be set off only against speculative income. This is similar to who? Specified business loss and what else? LTCL. Both of them agree to say what we will set up only against our same nature of income. Yes. So specified business loss can be set up only against specified business income. Long-term capital loss can be set off only against long-term capital gains. Correct? Similarly, speculative loss can be set off only against speculative income. Clear? It cannot be set off against anybody else, so there is no question of inter-head adjustment. Tell me, speculative business loss, can it be set off against long-term capital gains or IOS or HP? Speculative business loss, not allowed, isn't it? So next one. So can you see over here? We will see also in the second column later on. Carry forward only for 4 years. This is the minimum right now we are seeing here. First is no carry forward at all. Then we are jumping now on the 4-year allowed. Okay. ROI to be filed within due date. Set off in subsequent years only against same nature of income, because the same rule was applicable in the current year. Yes. And lastly, continuity of the business, again not required. So loss from discontinued business can also be set off against some other business which is again a speculative income. Okay. Next one, 73A. Loss from a specified business, 35AD. It can be set off only against income from specified business. So the second column and third column become important. Okay, because they are very much similar and same head of income. Intra-head or inter-head, sorry, not allowed at all. Whose specified business loss? Okay, carry forward indefinitely. We have seen this in 35AD also. Okay, ROI has to be filed within due date. And in the again next head of income, again similar. It is allowed to be carried forward for indefinite period of time. It can always be set up only against the same source of income. So within the subsequent years, again same source of income, specified business. Discontinued business, if it is discontinued but still can be set off. Correct? Next one, unabsorbed depreciation or family planning or scientific research expenditure, if it is more, that expenditures are quite more than the income. Check. It can be set up only against business, any business income, even your 35AD income. Any head of income except salary. So is this similar to your normal business loss? Correct. But it can only be carried forward indefinitely. Correct. ROI need not be filed within due date to set off these losses. In the subsequent years, it can be set off against any head of income, but again except salary. So where is the normal business loss? Okay, so normal business loss, it can be set off only against business income in the subsequent years, similar to your HP, correct? But this, your unabsorbed depreciation or any other similar expenditure can be set off against any head of income, but again except salary. So this can be set off against HP, IOS, CG. Yes, CG income. This is the loss. CG can accept anybody? Accept. When I say accept means profit. CG can accept anybody. True or false? Correct? It can accept anybody. It cannot take what? Only. There is no concept of salary loss. Can HP loss be set off against CG income? Can PGBP loss be set off against CG income? Can IOS loss be set off against CG income? CG accepts everybody. Understood or no? CG accepts everybody. Understood or no? Accept means, when I say accept, it means there is an element of profit over there. Okay? Okay. And again, discontinued business loss can also be allowed to be set up. So only last one remains is different. 74A, business from losses from business of running or maintaining race horses. Okay. Is it winnings from race horses?
Losses.
Maintaining and owning. Okay. Running or maintaining. Running of horse, no. Running of business. Business of running of horses. Correct? Are you following or no? So you are the owner. You means not you, but assessee is the owner of the horse club or whatever, wherever the horses are resources. Resources, correct. So it is being maintained or it is being run. That is the business, and that business has now losses. Understood? It can be set off only against income from such business only. So it is again particular to this business only. Okay, no other incomes at all. Other head of income not allowed, just like your capital gain. Again, your 4 years it can be carried forward. Similar to your speculative loss.
Yes.
So 2 losses will be 4 years, speculative and horse races business. ROI should be filed within due date. It can be set up against only such business only, even in the subsequent years, and it has to be continued as a business to be able to be set off. Okay, loss of discontinued business cannot be set off. If that business is discontinued, loss also lapsed. Loss also lapsed. Got it? Okay, priority of setup, important again. Priority of setup. Current and depreciation or expenses. This will be applicable for which head of income? PGBP. Then second one you will allow is same source of income, intra-head adjustment. Then you go to other heads of income in the same year. Okay. Then you set off brought forward business loss, and then you set off lastly brought forward, or you can say unabsorbed depreciation. So depreciation gets the last preference, correct? Now tell me, business loss has some expiry period or not? How many? How much? 8 years. But this depreciation indefinitely, correct? That's why it is given as such last priority. Understood? Check question 4. Mr. B, a resident individual, furnishes the following particulars for the current year: salary income, HP income, income from business but not speculative, means what? Normal business loss. So in business you will have now 3 categories. Which one? Speculative, normal, specified. Isn't it? Speculative, normal business and specified business losses. Then income from speculative business. Clear? This is income, not income. Okay, they are given in bracket, that is a loss. Yes. Then CG is in bracket, that is loss. Which one? Short term. But there is a long term gain. Yes or no? Are you clear till here? Fine. What do we prepare first? The table of loss and income. Again, this is for your reference. This is not part of standard answer. Okay, this is just for your reference. You can do it in rough also in the time of actual calculation. That is okay. Loss. Okay. You have income from salary. Now you can go as per question and don't keep on finding losses. Don't keep on finding income. Go as per sequence of the question and then just put in loss or income. Next you see bracket. So there is HP loss. Yes or no? Don't write figures. Then income from business is in bracket. It is not normal business loss. Are you all following? Then again something in bracket, that is your speculative business loss. Yes or no?
Yes.
Or speculative loss. Then you have again loss, something is in bracket, that is your short term capital loss. And and then you have LTCG. Instead of allowed or not allowed, you can write down yes or no also in short little bit. Something shorter words now. Try. Bolo, Tejas answer is ready? No? Is it ready or no? Utkarsh? HP loss, salary income? Yes. Just focus on loss. HP loss, LTCG? Yes. That's why we said no. Capital gain takes anybody. Normal business loss, salary income? No. Normal business loss, LTCG?
Yes.
For LTCG we can write down yes everywhere.
Speculative or
Speculative loss can be adjusted against salary income? No. Speculative against LTCG? No. Very good. Short term capital loss, salary income?
No.
Intra-head or inter-head not allowed, but this?
Yes.
Yes. Everyone got it? This will help you to, you can say, arrange the sequence which is to be done when? Question 4. No? Calculation of income chargeable tax. So, competition now. Of Mr. B for PY 1920 AY 2021 particulars rupees. First one, income from salary. How much? 45,000. Something is to be adjusted. For that, you will just see your above table. If the income says yes somewhere, then just prioritize to who all we can now set off. Salary allows only HP loss. House property loss is how much? 24,000. Is how much? 21. Now, as it is salary cannot take anyone else, so we'll put it in outer column now. Second, what other income you have? Income. Long term capital gains is how much? 19,000 positive. Allowed to be set up or no? So less what? STCG loss. What is the loss? 25, no? So we can set off. Loss is 25, no? But we can adjust only 19,000. So taxable income. How much? 21,000. As a part of notes. summary you will have to make. This is the easiest way to show the entire answer instead of writing textually each and every loss. Now again go back to the question and check which loss remains. Go as per sequence. Go as per sequence. Whether HP loss is completely set off. Go as per sequence. Whether income from normal business loss set off. So first one, normal, it is non-speculative, no? So normal business loss. How much is the loss? You can write this, you need not write again in bracket. How much is this? 22,000. Everything is current year's loss, no? Correct? So this will be carried forward for 8 years. So number of years to be carried forward is 8 years. Second, what figure you see in bracket? 4,000 speculative business loss. How much? Could we adjust it at all? No. So figure is 4,000 to be carried forward for 4 years. And then there is short term capital loss. 6,000, no? So these rules you have to learn only, or by heart you can say, okay? That is it. No other loss remains to be set off. Done? One more. Seventh. Mr. E has furnished his details for the current year. Salary, income, speculation business profit, loss from non-speculation, so normal business loss, STCG, long-term capital loss of AY 15-16, and winnings from lotteries. Make a table. Losses and income. First one is salary income. Next one is speculative business income. Then again some positive figure or negative figure. It is negative. So loss from non-speculation means normal business loss. Then again positive or negative? Positive. So it is income. Short-term capital gain. Fine. Then again positive or negative? Negative. Right, and here carried forward long-term capital loss. Yes or no? In bracket also you can write down AY 15-16. Now that is, whenever you have doubt in AYs and PYs, you can convert everything into PY or convert everything into AY, but don't mix both of them. In the question it is given AY 15-16. For your simplicity you can write down PY 14-15. Correct? That you have to see. And then you have what? Winnings from lotteries. Yes. Winning for lotteries, we should be even right down here. Lottery winnings. Income or losses? Sorry. Okay. Winnings. आ रहा है. Okay. Complete the table. Normal business law. Salary? Yes or no? Speculative business income? Pakka? Good. STCG? Yes. Lottery winnings? No. Lottery winnings is like your dead loss, card games, winnings, gambling. It does not allow anyone else to be reduced or set up. Carried forward long-term capital loss of PY 14-15. If you can carry it forward for how many years?
8 years.
The loss belongs to 14-15. Yes or no? After that, 8 years. Just like yesterday's concept, 8 years, 30 days, 5 days means what? No? Correct or wrong? Whatever, but 1920 will be within that 8 years, that much you can understand. Is it a case of 4 years only that you have to calculate so much? No, na. So 14-15 means obviously 1920 will be within that 8 years period. Correct? So allowed, whatever you have to see now.
No.
This loss cannot be set up against any other head of income as well as not against STCG also. Long term does not go to short term. Yes or no? Everywhere? No. Correct? No. सबको नहीं समझते मेरे जो. आगे. Income of Mr. E. Computation of. Of Mr. E. Particulars. You want to write for year and all of that, you can write, okay, for PY. Hi. Particulars. Rupees. First one is what? Income from salaries. Has salary said yes to someone? That will be check in the table.
No.
Arey my god, ये तो. Literally I am asking. और उसको तो हंस के बोलना है ना. Yes or no? Salary said no to everyone. So directly outer column. How much? 1,50,000. Okay, till here? So we have to again move to the next head of income. Second one is what income? Correct. Income from speculative business. Correct? How much? 60,000? Can we adjust something from it? That we have to check again in the table. So we have to keep this in the inner column. 40,000 income or 60,000 income? 60,000 income. Okay. What will you write? Less normal business loss. Correct? How much? 40,000. Outer column? 20,000. Any other income? No? Two more incomes, no? STCG and lottery winnings. Head of income. Now we are going to the next head of income. No, no. Sorry, Papa. Has STCG said yes to anyone?
Yes. But
Oh.
that yes is already gone.
Who? STCG gone with someone else?
वो yes इससे बोला वो yes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
normal.
So that entire loss is set off.
She went away.
STCG, whoever he or she said yes to, the loss is now no more there to be set off. So directly now take it in what? Outer column. How much?
80,000.
80,000. Fine. And next one we have what income? Yeah. Lottery winnings. How much? 20,000. तू करते मैं नहीं करता.
270.
Total income. How much? 2,70,000. Make the notes. Shh. What notes? Particulars, rupees, number of years, loss can be carried forward. First one. Again, go as per the question and check in your computation whether entire loss could be set off or not. Normal business loss set off completely 40. Yes or no?
Yes.
And LTCL is still remaining.
Yes.
So only one figure only. Long-term capital loss of AY 1516, no? That is PY 1450. How much?
30,000.
Write the years also. Very important.
Years. 20 to 20.
PY 22, 23, is it? How will you check? Pay attention. 14, 15. I think I done this in case of 10 AA also, just to count number of years. The loss belongs to 14, 15. After that, 8 years. So you can keep one figure in your hand, whatever you are doing as per PY first of all. 15 is done. Shh. I am taking this figure, the end figure, okay? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Correct. Very good. The last figure obviously should match. Fine. We are in which PY? 19, 20 is there. So 21, 22, 23. That is for next 3 years. This is your complete answer. That means for how many years ahead until which year? Done? Take a break.